When we think of, fraud and anything that's traditionally been concerns in the digital space, anytime we start to bring television, CTV, any type of content into a digital format, I believe concerns immediately come up about some of the fraud, some of the things that have been more nefarious in the industry. I think it's a very natural, immediate question and a concern that people have. On the flip side of this, we have this wonderful just amount of data. Now, at the same time, it can be a blessing and a curse. Some people can feel overwhelmed by it, but I think we've made a lot of strides on that side as well to say we've learned from the past. We know that there have been fraud issues out there, IVT issues. Let's make sure that we're all tackling that immediately, and it's not something where we need to play catch up. Everything is not just this race to the bottom with programmatic. It's let's make sure when we have premium content out there that we also have premium ways to make sure we're targeting and protecting the marketers.
So I think kind of where we're at is sort of this era of redefining kind of what programmatic means, but also redefining what TV means. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, I love that. So I always feel like, and even when I'm training my team and new folks, I'm always like, let's define programmatic in the simplest terms. Well, let's think about this as truly leveraging the technology to actually serve ads, find those efficiencies in leveraging technology. This is not just, hi, I use a DMP or a DSP, the open exchange, or really these legacy beliefs of, like I was saying, remnant inventory that's out there, that this is the race to the bottom in all of this. It truly is just leveraging that technology to be more efficient. On the TV side of things, I always like to take the consumer view of TV, meaning I'm watching content. When we go home, when we're at work, we're like, okay, TV, we mean linear TV, CTV, we have this streaming, we then go on a website, we have mobile. We're defining everything at work. And then we go home and we sit down and we say, I want to watch TV. And maybe we pick up a phone and maybe it's a streaming box and maybe it's a TV and linear. We just want to watch TV as a consumer. So I like to say, let's take the consumer view of this. Let's just make sure we can do everything. Hey, I want to put the ad in front of a consumer. I'm not worried about where they're watching it, how they're watching it. We're going to make sure we can do that anywhere.
So sort of combining those two, though, this sort of idea of programmatic TV, I think has been talked about for quite some time. What are your thoughts on programmatic TV post upfront? Are we any closer to the mythical 100% programmatically bought TV market, or are we still a ways away from that?
I mean, I do think we still have some time. We all love the upfronts. We know it's big buzz, but at the end of the day, this idea of just think of that definition we were just talking about, using that technology to make things more efficient. We're doing that today. If we put a really finite lens on again, programmatic being, I'm putting everything in the open exchange. No, I don't think we're going to have that in the upfronts for a long time or ever. But for right now, it's really are we using technology? Are we finding efficiencies? Yes, we're there. And even when things are bought direct, they're still leveraging that technology in the background to package everything up for the marketers.
Maybe if I could ask you one more question along that lines, sort of post upfront or sort of the tail end of the upfronts, if you will. The big thing was kind of this transition to the multi-currency market. But there is some friction, I think, in terms of kind of the multi-currency market and programmatic, right? How do you see that playing out, and sort of is there a time frame in your head for most of the platforms to be able to kind of transact programmatically and in a multi-currency way?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the great parts about programmatic is you can bring your own data. There's so much data available. You can, as a marketer, ask the networks that you're working with to use certain data providers, and they can have direct integrations or they can leverage things through the programmatic platform. So it works out in this lovely way where we can say, here's data that's available. And again, we've had years and years to learn from it and make sure that the right types of segments are there, to make sure that the audiences are there. And then even in a privacy-focused world, making sure that we can get data there, whether it be ID-based, whether it be contextually, or a blend of the two, to make sure that, again, you're finding that audience regardless of what data provider you're looking for, and anyone can get their hands on it. And I think the programmatic ecosystem is really what's facilitating that.